So another episode of Cork in the North this week is sponsored by the Citn pub. The Citn pub is just off the Lisburn Road, a fabulous place to go for drinks, for food, to socialise, to see your friends, to see your family, to go on a date. Plenty of parking, toilets and everything. You name it, they got it. Function room, hire it for a christening, for a wedding, for your second marriage, for your third marriage, whatever it is you want to do, a 50th, a 30th, a 21st. You can do loads. There's comedy down there as well. Check them all out online. The Citn pub, just off the Lisburn Road. It's a great place to go. I was there last week having a Sunday dinner and it was fantastic. Great food. Had the chicken burger. It was absolutely brilliant. Very reasonably priced. And if you use the code CORK25, you get 25% off your food Wednesday to Saturday. It's only open Wednesday to Sunday. Wednesday to Saturday is your food. So go out when the weather's getting good. Go out on a Thursday night. Go for a bit of dinner. Take them out. Take her out. Treat them with respect. Take them to a posh place. It looks fantastic. You can hire it out yourself. You can watch sport. You can go there for a drink before you go to a concert or stuff like that. When out in the parks or wherever they are, Belsonics and all these, Vital and the Boucher Road and all that kind of stuff. That's the place to go for your pints, for your drinks, for your food. The Citn pub, the Lisburn Road. Okay, so they're our sponsor. We love them. They're fans of us. We're fans of them. They're keeping this sinking ship afloat. Okay, they have melted the iceberg because of their love towards us, and we want you to go there and tell them Cork in the North podcast sent you. I did a podcast with Shane Todd and Megan O'Neill. Megan O'Neill is how would you describe her?
She's an OnlyFans girl.
Okay.
So
right.
Shane Todd, by the way, I have to give credit to Shane and the 1L Studios production team here. They made the perfect casting choice decision of getting an OnlyFans girl onto the podcast, and they put the most vanilla Cork missionary man right straight next to her.
Which before I go in.
Yeah, which I actually think was the best choice. That's the right thing to do, I think. Tell me what was, give me
before we do this, do you know Crisp's approach to do porn?
Yeah?
Yeah.
Give me the scenario. Like, is it down Cork?
Yes.
They shoot porn down Cork?
Well, they were trying to anyway.
It's a recruitment centre.
They were trying to.
How many years ago was this startup?
This was 2000 and... It was about 2005, I think. So long enough time ago. I have done material about this. I was on a building site and we were wiring lights for a fashion show, you know. And this guy came up to me and he was like...
We're all porn scouts happen.
He was kind of like, listen... No, he didn't go... It wasn't straight for porn, you see. He was trying to ease me into it.
Indirect, yeah.
Yeah, he was like you got a good package, right? So he was looking at my crotch a lot, apparently.
Through the jeans?
No, I had a pair of Snickers work pants on. And
tight ones.
Well, they weren't tight, actually. They weren't tight.
Did you say Snickers work pants?
Yeah,
you know the work pants is the combats and stuff. It's a brand, yeah.
It's workwear. It's workwear. Anyway, he came up. He was like, "You look, you got a great package on you there," and I was like, "Thanks." You know, that's kind
2005. That was okay, by the way.
That was absolutely
Celtic
fine.
Tiger,
you know?
Yeah.
But see, what it actually was I had unoperated hernias in my groin.
Right.
So that was kind of.
It was
I guess that was kind of showing everything off. An extra kind of little bump. On top of, an above average size anyway. Would have been drawn comments from people. But
unoperated hernias, holy fuck.
But I obviously didn't tell him that. He said, would you be interested in modelling underwear first? So I was like, okay, for a catalogue, it's from here down. I was fit at the time. I used to box and stuff. And he was like, from here down, we'll get you on a magazine, like, And then I was like, yeah, why not? Why not?
Yeah, bit of cash, bit of money.
Bit of money. So he's like, call up to my hotel room tonight and I'll go.
This was high Dahmer.
Bring some underpants and, bring some shorts. So I went up and it quickly changed to, would you ever be interested in doing a bit of porn at all? And I was like...
what a transition.
It's the most Irish thing at all now.
As quickly.
A bit of porn at all.
As quickly.
That's all.
Feel free to say no.
Yeah.
But it was fairly...
go on.
When I said no, it was fairly like, go on, should be great. I was in a relationship at the time and everything. I was like,
great.
no, I have
You got the Mrs. Doyle of porn casting agents.
I have no interest.
Did he talk to you about money at all?
Yeah, it was decent money as well now like that.
So what was it?
Can you tell us
I
the
can't
corn?
remember. I actually can't remember, but I remember it being good money. Like in the thousands, you could make this easily.
Okay.
We can, you can kind of protect your you can be kind of your anonymity or whatever. You know what I mean?
We put a bag over your head.
You can wear. You can kind of if you want.
Type Blind Boy style.
You can kind of hide. Yeah.
Famous porn actor, Blind Boy.
Good evening.
What's going on now?
He was very persistent about it though, and I kept saying no. I'm like, it's cool, man. I really don't want to do this.
Was there an option to go back to do?
No, there wasn't. There was never that work. You see, I would say he was just full sure I would take the.
Did he show you pictures of any of the girls? Like,
no, he didn't. He just said, "Do you want to do some porn?" I said, "No." He said, "What about?" I think he did actually go for another angle. He was like, "What about like just some hard-on shots for a magazine?" And I was like, "No, I think I'm good now." That was it. I walked away from a life of potential life of being in pornography. You know,
I just love the fact that there's this talent scout who's been sent on.
I'm not sure if he was a talent scout. I would say a pervert, probably.
Yeah, probably. But in my head, it's a talent scout who's been sent from this agency over to Cork, and he's ringing up every day, going, "Oh, it's fucking dry over here, mate. There's no talent to be seen."
Yeah.
And just this worker walks past this big bulge, and he's like, "Listen, my fortunes have changed."
This young herniated Chris Kent just
But
walks into his life.
how did you? Like, did you have to go back then the following day and do the lights?
Well,
did you see him again?
We set up a fashion show, so we were kind of gone out of there then. Like, you know, I saw him on the Echo, on the paper the next day. Like, a little picture of him with all the other the models, I suppose, that he was walking with. And I was like, that's the guy. That's
Did
your
you
man.
think he was trying to get the models to do porn?
I'd say he was definitely trying to get me to do something anyway. He had some kind of side hustle on here where he was like, yeah, you could do a bit of that. You could do a bit of pornography.
Was he from England or Ireland or?
He was Irish, as far as I can remember. I must look into. It was
so funny that
I
because you don't like when you think of porn and things like that, you just think of America and the UK.
Yeah,
you don't think of Irish porn.
Rightly
Awful,
so.
You know,
yeah.
awful. Like.
Oh,
You're looking at him going, oh jeez,
fatherhead.
I'd just be like, put that one away anyway.
Yeah.
But we met Megan on here. She was lovely.
So back to the OnlyFans girl that you met.
It was meant.
And is she? So what is it? She's OnlyFans. What does that mean? Like, as in, is she like
just private stuff on her Patreon?
Yeah. So people make a lot of money off that, don't
it's
they?
naked Patreon.
Yeah.
It's here's a Patreon where you can see.
You can
It's just our
request.
Patreon.
You can request me whatever, like doing something to myself.
Yeah.
Pay me and I'll do something like that.
Yeah.
Andrew, you talked during the podcast will probably be out by now, so we can talk about it. What is her? I don't want to say limit, but you know. What sort of stuff she does? Does she do just nude pictures? Does she do proper full-on porn?
No, she does a proper full-on pornography. So when I met her on the Sunday, she was flying to London to do a scene with a Jamaican porn star.
Okay.
And we asked a few. Like, I must say, it was actually really interesting actually to learn. Like, you know, the woman's got her head screwed on. Like,
I imagine most of your questions were about tax returns.
I asked her about her tax return.
Yeah.
What are you declaring? Besides your arse. Yeah.
Just claim that on expenses. Now, all that kind of stuff.
What takeaways or learnings did you leave that day from thinking? Like, what was your learnings or perspective from it all when it was all?
Girl seemed to be very, very strong character.
Yeah.
Knew what she wanted, knew her boundaries, knew what she didn't like.
Yeah.
Look, this is what I do.
Yeah.
And this is what I do, and I'm going for it. I'm confident about it. I feel safe. And I was just like, well, you know what? If that's what you want to do, by all means, go for it.
Yeah.
You know, I was actually, you know, the way sometimes you might think, oh, this person's going to be a little bit dope, you know, or not. I'm not saying I thought I was going in with that impression, but I was a bit like,
no.
There might be people like, oh, look at me, aren't I cool? I do this. And I'm like, oh, well, it's not really. But actually, she was so like, oh no, these are my no's, these are my red flags, this is what I do. And I was like, oh, you're a businesswoman.
Yeah.
Like, she was a businesswoman, like.
Yeah.
But like there was a few times, you know, she does have 2 kids, like. Wow. And she did talk about it. One of her kids kind of knows about it, like. And I just kind of think to myself, but it's not actually out there in the public realm.
Right.
You have to subscribe
it's
to
not
it. Like.
On. Okay.
But look,
and don't get me wrong, we weren't given anything for free. We weren't shown anything like that.
Oh, you tried. You were like, if you any,
I was like, look, what,
just a free month.
You're like, I like to research the guests before they come on.
Before I
yeah, just to make
but
sure.
like, you know, good like it was an interesting podcast, to be honest with you.
Yeah, look, I'm pretty liberal and open about things, and like, I've no judgment certainly for people that do that sort of thing. I do think it is, you know, when you said about the 2 kids thing there, that's difficult for like Because obviously people can screenshot things, people can save things, people can share things in WhatsApp groups. Like, be tough if...
Oh, well, everything's leakable now, isn't it?
Yeah.
Well, 100%. Like, be tough if you were in secondary school and...
I've seen your ma there on this.
here, look at that, you know.
And you go, but look at my fucking Gucci bag, like.
Well, these are the trade-offs you have to...
You know what I'm saying?
Fucking hell.
You know, like, it's a strange one, especially if you've got kids. Like Chris is the only one here that has kids. Like,
Yeah.
Chris, you know what I mean? It's just, I mean, your whole body changes when you become a dad. I imagine. Like,
What do you mean?
Like your whole, like
Your
not
body?
your body, like, but the way you go about your life is kind of a bit different, isn't it? Like you're like
Yeah,
you're
your
like a
mind
protector,
change. Yeah,
like,
absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, you've different. You have different priorities, I suppose. Do you know? You're in charge of someone else's life and all that. So your body is.
That's tough going. Like,
Yeah.
when sometimes I find it difficult to do my own.
Yeah. But back to this girl, right? She's very successful in what she does.
She's making a lot of money.
She's making a hell of a lot of money.
She didn't tell us what she was making, and we wouldn't ask either. It's none of our business.
It's great,
but,
though,
like,
isn't it?
I would say she's doing pretty cool. Like.
So,
People that would have done porn in the past, girls could have been taken advantage of and given a very small amount of money to shoot a video that goes out there to everyone anyway.
could have been you.
It could have been me. You know, could have been me.
Could have been you, but now you can start an OnlyFans.
Chris could have been a washed-up male porn star at 40 on an
Yeah.
OnlyFans going, I used to be big, you know? I used to have a following.
Now I'm just flaccid.
Yeah. Now I'm on the Viagra, which again is from Cork. Congratulations.
Yes,
lads.
exactly.
Maybe
There you go.
Maybe
That's the
there's
connection.
something in that.
there's something in your air down there. Maybe the Viagra factory's leaking a wee bit, and you get some of the residual gases, and you just fucking are good to go. Like, you know what I mean?
good to go, mate.
Makes you good for porn. I don't know.
I worked in that factory in the
Really?
in Pfizer's, yeah.
Pfizer,
When I went back to
yeah,
work
yeah.
there, yeah. I was working in Pfizer's for 2 years.
Get all the free gear and
Yeah,
all, did
there's a
you?
politician down there, Dick Spring. He opened one of the buildings.
Yeah.
He opened one of the buildings.
Yeah, he used to be the
I'm
Labour.
dead serious.
He was the
That's
Labour.
not- that's not a joke.
He was the leader of the Labour Party.
There's a plaque. Dick Spring
Dick
opened
Spring
this.
opened the Viagra Centre in Cork.
Not the whole thing, but one of the buildings.
One of the
in there.
apartments. Just a hard bit.
He did.
He used to be the...
No.
Wasn't he like...
No way.
So how
Wasn't
would
he,
the two of us
Dick
know that?
Spring, yeah, he used to be the leader of the Labour Party, wasn't it?
I can't remember what he did. He was a politician and he opened one of the parts of Pfizer's.
And he was like Taoiseach, I think, for a short time in a three-party coalition. I think this was all in the 90s, wasn't it? It was all in the 90s.
exactly.
Oh, fucking
I
hell.
can't remember that, but he opened Dick Spring, yeah.
Oh, fuck.
Dickie
I
Spring,
mean, well, where do you go
It's the
from
most
there?
Irish thing that has ever happened. Like,
Fucking...
You're a man from Oma.
Yes, I am indeed.
Growing up as a child, I only knew Oma for one thing. I won't bring it up, obviously. From
The folk park?
The what?
The folk park?
The folk park, yeah. When I was growing up as a kid, very young kid at the time, obviously, my only, I suppose, when Oma was in news for a terrible atrocity that happened there.
Oh, thanks, Andrew, for starting things off on such a light note.
But I was in Oma recently for the first time.
Uh-huh.
Great little spot.
It's a fantastic place.
It's a grand spot, isn't it?
deadly.
The people there are a bit fucking wild, like.
Good wild, but
Yeah, but people up here in the north, like, they are wilder than any other region on this island. like.
yeah.
Why is that?
It may have something to do with maybe things like in the past. Maybe just there's a bit of a
Attention here. PTSD.
yeah. It could be PTSD or it could be just we don't give a fuck.
Yeah, because we've seen hell.
We've seen how bad it can get, so we don't take things seriously.
You really-
We don't. We don't take offence as easily as other places do. And
You feel that way, yeah.
I genuinely do believe we have that because we know where it actually can go when you take something very, 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 very seriously.
Yeah.
So I just think we know where the boundaries are, and we're a bit further maybe than even the rest of the UK around.
Yeah, and when you go down to, I don't know, when you go down south or to Cork or Dublin or whatever, like, what's your vibe down there? What do you think of it? Do you like? You must obviously.
Well, I always loved
Like,
Dublin's always been my
Your
favorite
place, yeah.
city. Like, I
Yeah.
always loved it. I always get it's a strange one coming from Tyrone to go down.
Yeah.
Obviously from the rural into the city, but
there's a ban on me in Tyrone. You know?
yeah, you're not allowed on. Yeah, that's why I'm kind of sent here as a delegate, just to sort of
He's a middleman
negotiations
from the
Yeah.
UN.
Yeah.
I slagged Tyrone off as a joke. Now, if it wasn't Tyrone, it was going to be Armagh or it was going to be Leitrim or just whatever county came into my head.
Just don't pick Tyrone. Fermanagh
But
is an
you
easy
say
option.
Tyrone, I say Tyrone.
You do.
But it's Tyrone.
Well, it's Tyrone, yeah.
Tyrone.
Yeah.
But
In Irish,
in Irish it's Tyrone, yeah, but in English it's
Tyrone.
right. But I would say
Tyrone, yeah.
Why? Because I don't know. Maybe it's
You're very syllable heavy on the thing, yeah.
Yeah.
And plus, we speak very fast.
yeah.
So
and
it's
Cork,
Tyrone.
within Cork, we only do things right.
You do,
You know,
you do, you do.
only
You do
joke.
great things. I've never been there, so I don't know.
Have you ever been to Cork?
No.
Why? What the fuck?
What would take me to Cork?
But
Apart
like-
from a bus, but
But like you're a comedian, you travel, you do gigs. Do you go down much to do gigs down south?
not very often.
Why
no.
not? But what's the when you?
I used to back in the early days when you were like traveling and getting your name
Fair
out, yeah, going to Dublin and stuff. But Dublin and Galway would be the only really as far as
Really?
I went. Yeah,
Yeah, nowhere like not even down. You've never been to Kerry or
I was in County Clare when I was in secondary school, doing climbing caves. There's caves down there.
yeah, it's something like
Is
that.
the Alway Cave or something
Yeah.
like that, or some?
Most of
I
the
don't know what
population
fuck
of
it's
Clare
called.
need to get back into their fucking caves. But anyway,
Well, yeah. So
that was just some light-hearted banter there. That I think went
another
wrong.
county off the list.
That's me banned from Clare now. That's not even a crack it is. Clare, huh? Jesus. Kilkee. Told. It's
No,
not.
stop
Kilkee
it.
is actually a really nice place, and I've been there on the sea. And it's really nice. And County Clare is an absolutely gorgeous county.
Yeah.
Dromoland Castle, I think, is in County Clare.
Okay.
Beautiful spot.
Just so as you know, Andrew, I'm cutting that last bit out and
Yeah.
just keeping the bit where you.
Well, it was a really desperate attempt at saving himself, and it didn't work. I'm going to be honest with you.
Yeah, but listen, nothing's as bad as Limerick. What are you up, lads? There's nobody from
Many's
Limerick
left
that
now.
listens.
Many counties left. that they have.
You wait till you say until I start in Longford. You know what I mean? The worst place in anyway. The worst. Honest to God, there's some counties that we could do without.
Oh yeah.
Like there's a few counties I think Leitrim just merge with someone. Just merge with someone.
Yeah, Leitrim's
You know what I
kinda
mean?
pointless. Like
I
in
often
fairness,
think
yeah.
Leitrim should look just merge, and you can actually have some success in the GAA. You know what I mean? Just
Even then,
Leitrim, Longford, Roscommon, just merge as one county.
Yeah, awfully.
Who could they merge with? Kilkenny, Carlow?
I don't know where they are, but it's just. the
You don't know
name.
where they are?
Yeah.
Midland. They're in Leinster, but they're in like an hour and a half outside of.
Geography was
Shane
never
Lowry's
mine.
from Offaly,
Right. Okay.
the golfer.
I'm not a big Carlo fan myself.
Why?
I don't know. I went down there for work one time. I just didn't appeal to me.
Yeah. Well,
I footered with a girl in Carlow one time.
You what?
I footered with a girl in Carlow.
You say the word?
Footered.
Footered.
Yeah.
What's footered?
It's
Shifted
a polite.
like.
It's a polite way.
Kissed like.
Well, it's a polite way of saying fingering.
Oh.
Footered, and yeah, that was in Carlow around about 97.
Good.
Yeah, that was good.
So were you up and down, or how did it work?
I was down this part. I was at both before and after.
In and out, really, isn't
Yeah,
it?
it was more. It was more like that. More. I was down actually for actual fingering, guitar playing.
Oh right. Oh
Yeah.
okay.
We were down as part of a trad group playing in the All Ireland Sloga final.
Right. Okay.
And yeah, it was good.
When you go to weddings now, and you go to weddings in hotels and stuff like that. I've 3 weddings this year.
I don't go to them.
Would you?
I've never. Do you know what? I've been. So I used to do music at weddings. So I've been to a lot of weddings when I was like in my early
Working,
20s, and I hated it. And
What is
so,
it about performing at a wedding that does you nothing?
So I hated playing music at them because people would like. I mean, fair enough. They're paying you a wee bit more than you would be getting for a normal gig, right? But they would feel like they own you for that time.
Yeah.
And so there was a bit too much of that, and like people requesting rare songs, and you have to learn them because it's their wedding. I also I hate the feeling at weddings sometimes where it feels like it's going to kick off because there's a lot of tension at a wedding.
Especially families coming together that they haven't seen each other for a long time.
Families come together. Maybe there's stuff where bride's man dad don't get on.
Yeah.
They're groom's
The
man
groom's
dad.
got off with the bride's sister and no one knows about that.
Stuff like that,
Yeah.
and you're just sitting there. Or there's even just sometimes it's a mix of groups of friends.
Or it's a
and-
mixed marriage as well.
Yep. And so you're just going, fuck this. So I hated all that, but like I hated playing at them. And then so when my mates and all started getting married, I would just go, there's a present. Enjoy your day. And I don't go home.
Really?
Yeah, I don't go.
Have you ever seen a fight at a wedding?
I've
I've seen a fight at a wedding.
seen people be I've seen it nearly happen and then people
Calm the person
leave,
down.
Kev did a gig in a hotel once where there was a wedding on like next door, like he's gigging in the bar and a wedding spills out and these 2 guys came in and broke a table, like broke a marble top off a table and took it in and fucked it at somebody. That's a true story.
Wow.
Like you're just going.
Shane
Imagine-
Todd never told me that happened at his wedding at all before. Like, that's what, do you know? Once I used to work in a hotel in Cork, right? Good hotel I used to work in, and I used to do a lot of the weddings. I used
What
to
was
do,
the hotel called?
Maryborough House Hotel,
What's the big old-fashioned hotel in Cork I've been to once?
Montanati.
What's it called?
The Montanati.
Is that
Old fashioned. Are we talking in the city centre? The Imperial.
The Imperial. I've
the
been there,
Imperial.
not just for a day of
Yeah,
work.
it's on Oliver Plunkett, not Oliver Plunkett Street. Oh Jesus, turn over the bridge, turn right. Oh Jesus, what's the street called?
Cork
The South
Avenue.
Mall. The South Mall.
All right.
Anyway, we used to work in a hotel called the Maryborough House Hotel, right? Great hotel to work in. Really enjoyed working there. And one particular wedding, there's about 150 guests, and they wanted a particular song played for their first dance. Now, this was before digital stuff now, right? So just remember, this is 2000, this is 1999, 2000, right?
Right.
And they have it on a fucking tape. It's on a tape, right? It's on a cassette, right? Right, they have it on a fucking tape. There's one song on this tape, and it's on side A, and there's one song on it. And they come up with it. The song is called, I don't know, The Flowers in the Garden. It's written by some fucking Chinese symphony, fucking upside down Vietnam, fucking whatever it is, right? And I'm thinking, here we go, right? So we do a rehearsal. So they arrive at like fucking 2 o'clock. The first dance isn't until 7 o'clock, right? So at lunchtime, we're setting up the room. They're all at the church, blah, blah, blah. We're hoovering, getting the place ready. The catering manager goes to me, we need to practice this song. So we get the tape in, but we had to put it into just like a tape recorder,
Yeah.
and turn the mic on, press play, and put the mic up to the speaker, right?
Oh,
So we do that anyway. Full volume up in the function room. Next thing all you hear is all this kind of stuff, right? We're all going, perfect sound job.
I feel like I was in Saigon there for a
You
week.
know, but like beautiful kind of like Chinese folk music, right?
Yeah.
It was really interesting actually, right? And next thing you know, what?
I'm laughing at you doing a fucking Peter Schmeichel save, like, you know what I mean?
No, what it was,
Oh, it was
It
interesting.
was really interesting. Like the guests weren't Chinese or anything. Like they're from Cork. Like, but nothing against that. Like Chinese folk music is actually really good. Have you ever listened to it? Honest to God, on your drive home today, type into Spotify Chinese folk music. It's some crack.
Do you know what I have seen? I filmed I was talking about this to somebody recently. I filmed a thing for Chinese New Year that they put on in the waterfront.
Yeah.
I think they do it maybe every year, but they definitely did it for a few years on the trot a load of years ago, and I filmed one. And mate, they bring kids over from like Performing Arts Academy in China. Fuck me, like this is everything from like musical theater through to like, you know, some kid who's like 9 gonna come out and fucking shred a bit of a Vivaldi on the fucking
Oh, yeah,
violin.
they're insane,
like it's
yeah.
mental.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Have you ever been to China?
No, I've turned the chance down 3 times.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I'll get back to the wedding, right? I'll tell you about my trip to China, right?
Right.
That was a mad trip, right? This wedding couple, they turn up anyway, and we get the nod to do the first dance, right? And I'm thinking, job done, innit? Get the recorder, press play, turn the mic on, silence.
Oh, the
Right.
rewind.
No, it was ready to go. We rewinded everything. And I'm like, check the mic. I'm like, press play. I hear anything, right? So the bride and groom are on the dance floor. The food and beverage person is kind of standing at the door, looking at me in the sound booth, going, "Where the fuck is where is the
Yeah.
song?" And I'm going, "I'm pressing play. I don't know." So she comes running up to me, stops it, right? And you know what she did? Just did that classic, just banged it, thinking because we're all panicking, right? The bride and groom are on a thing. Anyway, right? Press play again, microphone up, nothing. Food and beverage workers, what are we going to do? I said, I actually don't know what to do here. We rehearsed this. This was perfectly fine. So now,
I've had the time of my life.
so there's 150 people around this dance floor. There's a bride and groom right in the middle, and everyone's and I mean every single person is looking over at the two of us, and I just went like this. I was like that, right? So do you know what they did? They just danced to silence.
Oh, Silent Night, like.
They danced to silence, right? And the food and beverage manager, she just looked at me. She went, "Oh my God!" She goes, "What's wrong?" And I went, "I don't know what is
Yep,
wrong.
that's a grand going back then.
I do not
Simon
know
and
what
Garfunkel's an odd choice for a first
I
dance.
do not know what is going on."
Andrew's made a new purchase.
Oh, yeah, hold on.
Yeah.
You told me something before we started recording, and I nearly leaped across the seat to
So
punch you in
out
the
of
face.
character.
Andrew, please tell all. Go ahead.
I'm buying a flight simulator for my house, so I can basically land planes in a little chair at home.
Right, and how much is it costing?
About $2,500. What's wrong with that?
Right, we done a podcast with we done a podcast with Kieran Bartlett a couple of weeks ago, and Kieran Bartlett happened to talk about like a computer that he bought that was about £2,500-3,000, and you call.
You're
called it the biggest waste of money.
You're buying
you could think of.
You're buying a computer that can only do one thing. At least his computer can browse the internet. Your computer can fly imaginary planes in the sky that you'll land in your real living room. You're paying for the privilege of doing this. Here. Do you know what costs $2,500? A real plane. Just buy a real plane if you're going for that far.
So I've been looking online. I've always wanted to have my own flight simulator set up at home.
Yeah, you want a cockpit at home?
Yeah, right. And I want to have all the pedals. I want to have the whole lot.
Pedals.
I want to have the pedals.
Yeah. The buttons.
Downloading all the software. I want 3 screens set up.
Yeah.
I want to be able to go in, take off from Cork Airport, land in Heathrow, have a flight. I want to dress up in my little pilot's outfit.
Unbelievable.
Right.
I mean, role play in your house must be delightful.
Julie's cabin crew.
Yeah. How far do you want to go in this job, Julie? Do you want to work in the executive lounge? Well,
Do you want to join the Male High Club?
step into the cockpit.
So, yes, I approached the conversation with Julie and spoke to her about.
I approached the conversation with Julie.
I said to her, I said, listen, I want to buy a flight simulator for the house. She was like, oh yeah, what's that? Like a game? And I went, no, it's a full set. I'll have to get somebody to come out, install it, build it, download all the software, and then I have to be trained up on the flights.
Wow. Any game you need to be trained on isn't for me.
And then she just looked at me and she went, where are you going to put it? And I was like, the spare bedroom. She goes, well, there's a bed in there. And I went, we'll just get rid of sell the bed.
That's good.
I was like, no one's staying over anyway. We've got an inflatable. I have a blow-up single one I could put down in the sitting room.
Put them on the sofa.
Yeah, but like, wouldn't it be great though to wake up in my sitting room and walk upstairs and go, jump in there, man. We'll go to Paris. You know what I mean? I landed at Charles de Gaulle.
It wouldn't be good.
Do you know what I mean?
Because when you leave the room, you're still leaving your house. I'm not leaving Paris. I'm getting the worst part of the trip. I'm literally
No
doing
security,
the
no
travel,
airport security. Like,
and then I'm literally in the sky on the plane for 2.5 hours, and then I get out and I'm not even in Paris. I have to drive home.
Andrew thinks he's Aladdin. He takes Julie into the spare bedroom. It's like a whole new world.
what you want for your birthday? I've got us first class tickets to JFK.
Strap in.
Step right through this magical door.
So yeah, I wanted to.
amazing.
So I've been looking online.
Yeah.
And it's about $2,500. And now I was thinking that basically when I get it, I don't know when I'm going to buy it, but what I'm going to do, I'm going to invite a few of the lads round.
Yeah.
And
I can't wait for that.
Would you come around and let me fly you somewhere? Like,
absolutely. What happens if you 9/11? Do I die?
just make sure you bring the right luggage. Now I don't want you to be oversized.
I'm going to be a
on the
wee
luggage,
fucking
like.
suicide bomber. Fucking just like I'll just fucking hijack the plane and all.
I'll be like pressing me little buttons up there and going emergency.
Yeah, Dave Elliott comes in for security, chokes me out and all. We like really do a proper theatre.
But you know what the best thing about it is you can fly at night, you can set your levels of turbulence and all this kind of
wow,
stuff.
that's so cool. For $2,500 I can
great,
fly
though.
at night.
You can be sitting there like this,
wow.
you can just fly now.
Oh yeah, that's class.
You play fucking video games. What are you on about? It's the same thing. You play fucking video games.
I know, but I have a system where I can play multiple games. I can play an adventure game. I can play a shooting
yeah, but I'd be able to hook
I
up
can play
FIFA to
Mario.
this as well onto the screens and stuff. I'd be able to hook up a
will you be able to
PlayStation.
hook up PlayStation?
Oh, you would, yeah. It's got
Okay.
USBs and all that kind of stuff.
That's a bit better then.
I'd be able to hook up my laptop to it the whole lot. It's not a problem.
No,
I'd be able to watch films on it and everything.
That's nice. Okay. Are you just getting a TV? Is that...
No, I'm getting 3 screens set up, PCs,
Right.
monitors,
Right.
the full gear.
Okay.
I'm going to have seatbelt and everything. There's going to be a seatbelt in it.
No, that's
I'm going to have a
I
seatbelt
draw
in
the
it.
line at a seatbelt. You're not even moving in the thing.
You are moving. The chair moves. The chair will move. Because when you're climbing, trying to get to 30,000 feet, right? You're like this, look. You got to pull back, mate. and it goes up, and then you can pick the wind speed and all that, and you're like, and then you can type in where you want to land, and you can do, and then you got to land the plane, and it's going to be brilliant, man. And you can have engine failure halfway through the flight, and you can like fix it, and you can read your little manual and all that. You're not into that, no?
I think it's fun. Yeah,
I'm happy for you, Andrew.
Yeah, I know. I think it's fun.
Why was Andrew late for his gig? Oh, he was delayed landing at Stansted.
Yeah. They couldn't get him a clear window to land his own plane.
It's like, Andrew, are you emceeing the Empire? Yeah, but I've got to circle around Dublin Airport there, so there's a bit of traffic. But boxers, I'll be honest with you, like, you know, I listened to an interview there with Ricky Hatton. He did a 1 hour interview, and obviously talking about his career and fighting Pacquiao and Mayweather and all that kind of stuff, and how his life kind of crashed afterwards, and you know, legal cases and drugs and all this kind of stuff. There seems to be massive highs.
Yeah.
First of all, how do you deal with, you know, you're in camp for 8 weeks, all these endorphins are being released for 8 weeks, you're being pumped up, you're brilliant, you're amazing, you're on your journey.
Yeah.
You go into the ring, you absolutely fucking batter somebody, and then the following day you're like, oh. Like, how are you dealing with the highs?
You know what's mental?
And the lows?
You know what's mental? It really, the buzz, genuinely, like, obviously it's fine now, but I mean, like, I was like, it didn't leave me there. Like, I was pumped from that fight for a good 2 weeks straight there. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, it's crazy. Like, how, that's why it is, like, people be like, oh, it's the best sport in the world. It's because of what's at stake, do you know what I mean? So, like, your nerves are so high, the pressure, there's so much pressure on you. And then when you win like that, it's like insane. So it really doesn't wear off for a while, especially when you're watching the video every day like I was doing. It's only really stopped that, to be fair.
And when you get hit, when this guy hit you in all the other fights you've had, you really feel it?
You know, the thing is, you don't feel, like, I've been dropped and all before in earlier fights, and you don't feel it, honestly.
Until the following day.
As soon as you leave the cage, my leg was absolutely mashed up, and I didn't even know. I was kicked, as you said, like leg kick. I was kicking him clean everywhere, like hitting bone, whatever. You do not feel a thing in there. Like, I was booting him all over the shop, and I walk out of as soon as I get out of the cage, I go to walk up the stairs. I was like, holy shit, I can't be weighting this leg here. The swell, that leg was swelled up like really bad all over my shin. But in there, you really feel nothing. Like, you can feel like, okay, I just got hit there, but it's not like sore. It's weird. It's weird how it works. It really is. The adrenaline is crazy.
When you went into that fight, were you carrying any like nagging injuries or anything like?
Yeah, my hand is like, you can still kind of see it now. Like, I was doing like a hard. Have you ever heard of a Shark Tank reference in MMA?
Yep.
Yeah.
So
go ahead, explain it.
The Shark Tank.
Yeah.
Is that when you go at 100%, you try and burn them out? You're like a shark in a tank. You just go. No.
I thought he was on it there, and then he says,
I thought a shark tank was in Dragon's Den.
I love that.
That's what I was thinking.
We just scooped him because he was like, yeah, Shark Tank. He got to explain it.
I know nothing about fighting. I'm just trying to interview to go fucking normal. I want you to do me well.
Why can't you just say no?
Leave him alone now.
I don't know what a Shark Tank
Knock
is.
him out from there.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Shark Tank.
Oh yeah.
No, I know.
Oh
that.
yeah, big time.
Go ahead, Andrew. Well,
It's like you're like a shark.
by the way, what a generic explanation. It's like when you go 100%.
100 grand for 20% of the company.
You go at 100% for 20% return.
Oh, that's so
I'll give
funny.
you a bit of a context with Shark Tank. It's so.
Oh, that's made my day.
Oh yeah, I know it does.
Can't wait to clip that.
You can clip that one.
Absolutely.
So, like,
What's the best way for me to go in and get a car without, and a salesperson how do I do it?
Bring me with you.
Right, give me an example.
Right.
Like, give me an example.
So you have came in and like you have to realise like it's a bit like dealing with a comedian in a slagging match. It's hard, you're not going to win that contest if you try and outsmart a car salesperson unless they're really stupid, and there's some really stupid car salespeople out there, trust me. So like if you're going into a garage, you need to have like, it depends if you're buying a new car or a used car. That's what I would say, because new cars have loads of great finance offers. You can near enough spec the car yourself online, and you know the deal, and you can go in and get it, and you have in your head that that's the deal you want, and then you see what they want. So they might actually offer you a better deal than what's online, because they maybe need that car away. They maybe need that car out of their stock. It's maybe been sitting. So like these cars aren't just sitting there all the time, especially if it's a main dealer. So they'll have cars that have a 90-day window. So that car can't be on the pitch for longer than 90 days.
What happens after 90 days?
It goes to auction. Or they spin it. It was called spinning. There's a whole language, by the way. So if I start talking in 3-letter abbreviations, please stop me and ask what
It's
that
good
means.
because I want to walk in and go, which car are you spinning?
So basically, if it's a used car, most big dealerships or franchises will have 90 days. So say there's a car in Ballymena that's been sitting there, not a tire kicked in it for 90 days, they'll spin it up the road to Mollusk, try and sell it there. If it's
so it's a Peugeot garage or an Audi garage.
So like, say you've traded a Volkswagen into a Ford garage and nobody wants it, you could send it up the road to somewhere where there's maybe a Volkswagen dealership.
So if I walk into
beside it.
Audi tomorrow and I say, show me the cars being spun,
like, you can't come in as a punter and say that. Like, that's just, you're giving up the ghost then. You need to be cuter than that.
right, what do I do?
So you could just say things like, I see that car there's been on Used Cars NI for 70 days. So things like that, that's public knowledge. You can go onto Used Cars NI, you can scroll down to any used car and you can see how many days it's been in stock. And
let's write this down.
you can see all the price changes too. So you can see, like, it's basically a private sale.
Gary,
So-
this is fucking so
See,
like,
I should write a book. I should write a book on this.
What do
So,
you mean you can see the price changes on where?
on Used Cars NI.
It tells you.
It tells you. So if you go on Used Cars NI now, pull it up, any car you want, all right, pick it up, and if it's been
Right, so let's give you an example. We find a car for 10 grand. That car says an Audi A3. Let's just pretend that, right? And that car's been on used car NI for 70 days. And it was at 12 grand. Then it went to 11.5 and 11. Now it's at 10. So this car is hemorrhaging
you're
cash.
walking in there knowing they're selling you this car.
Because it's been around for 70 days. The price has been cut and they're desperate to get
They're
rid of it. So
desperate.
you have now more leverage.
You have huge leverage.
Okay, so give me an
advantage.
example. I walk in and I go, right, I've seen this car for this Audi. It was 12, it's now 10, and it's been on for 70 days. What happens then? What do I do then?
Well, you basically first off, you need to see if you want it. So you take it a test drive and stuff like that. There, make sure it's right. You don't just buy a car because it's a good deal. Do you know what I mean? It's not like buying a
I would do.
toaster.
Well, yeah.
I know you probably would, and people did do that. But you would just you'd have it up your sleeve. You maybe wouldn't throw all the cards. I personally would just see what type of feedback I'd be getting. It's a bit like what you're doing in your stand up when you're testing out the crowd. You know, where's the line? I've just like, act all coy. See, you've got that there. Focus there. Tell me about it.
Tell me about it. Oh, tell me about
Tell
it.
me about it.
Oh, so you
So
walk
he'll start selling to you then. So therefore, he's going into his selling mode or she's going into her selling mode. And you're just sitting there going, yeah, all right. I know all that. I know it's got aircon. I know it's got Bluetooth.
I know it's got wheels.
I know it's got a
See
scuff
the
in the
wheels.
back bumper. I'm going to chin you
I've
for
done
later.
the research.
I've seen the doors.
But you don't give up all that. You don't go in and go, I know everything about this car and I know it's reduced down to the tits, but will you give me another 500 quid off it? You see what they give you. It's like poker, man. You ever play
Right,
poker?
so I go in and go, tell me about this Audi. And they go, oh, it's a great car, blah, blah. I go, listen, I know this car's been on for 70 days and I know it's gone from 12 to 10. If you give it to me for 9.5, I'm happy with it after the test drive. I'll walk out of here with
Never
it.
give them the price first.
Oh, fuck.
See, you're
What else do I do?
schoolboy, man.
Right, tell me what else to do.
Whoever says
Do I threaten them?
the first price loses.
Are you serious?
Yes.
Repeat this again. So whoever says the first price loses. Okay,
Correct.
so give me an example of why not and why not.
Right. So if say, it's another example of that. So first off, if you go in and you say, I'll take that car for 9.5 grand, he might have gave you it for 9.2, but you'll never get 9.2.
Right, so
for
how
it.
do I do this?
Right. Well, you have to go in and say, look, you have to express obviously an interest in it, and then you could just go up and hit him between the eyes and go, look, want that car? What's your best?
What's your best?
What's your best? Go and speak to the manager, or just go balls in. I want to speak to the manager.
Hi, I want to speak to the manager.
You could get some, low level trainee sales executive who's wet behind the ears and doesn't know what they're talking about. They don't know the spec of the car. They're just going
Right.
and asking somebody else how to
Here we
do the
go.
process.
You're the salesman.
Yeah.
And I'm the car park
You wanna
buyer.
role play it?
Let's do a
Right.
role play.
Right.
Sean, you can find out you tell us who's doing better at this, right?
Right.
Okay.
We're pretending there's an Audi. I've
Yep.
test driven it. It was 12. It's now 10.
So we've done meet and greet, we've done test
Right,
drive.
it's now been on 7 days. I go, Gary, really enjoyed driving that. I go, Gary, just test drove the Audi.
Mm-hmm.
Now listen, I see that that car's been on sale for a while here, and I know you've dropped the price and stuff like that. Like, what's the best you can do for me on that car?
Well, look, Andrew, really appreciate that. Really happy you enjoy the car as well. Firstly, just before we start negotiating, have you got a car to trade in?
No, I don't. I'm actually, I don't have a car to trade in. I'm just coming in here off the street. I've got my license.
Well, no,
not a
that we just
problem.
took a test drive. I had
Yeah.
to see it.
Okay. Yeah. Cool. Yeah.
I photocopied it. I've got it in my file.
All right, mate.
I know where you live.
Let's not split hairs.
That's all right.
So
what's the bottom line here? What are we doing business?
I'd love to do business today. Yeah, because I need a car. and I like that car. But I need to know what you can do for me.
Well, let me ask you this first before I go and speak to my manager. If I can get the price right for this car today, Andrew, can we do business?
I think we can if we can get the price right, yeah.
Good man, good to hear that.
But I need to know what your best offer is.
Well, look,
So if you go speak to your manager now, you come back with what the best offer you can do for me this car, and then we'll talk then.
It's in the window.
Because it says 10 grand on the
Yeah,
thing.
well, it's in your justice. I told you in the test drive.
I know.
We had it on at 12,
Excuse me,
Andrew.
I'm speaking. I know that you want to get rid of this car. This car has been here for 70 days. This is a very lonely car.
How do
It's
you know it's been here
needs a home.
70 days?
It's like a dog need to be rehomed because it's on used cars NI.
Right.
And you've reduced the price from 12,000 to 10,000. So to me, the value of the car was overhyped anyway. So I still think 10,000 that's on the window now, you said, I actually think that is still too high. So what I want you to do now, because I'm here to do business and I want to do business with you and I can see you want to do business with me.
I do. I like it. You're a good guy.
Yeah, I'm not a good guy.
I like the
Speak
cut
to
your
my
jib.
ex-wife. Speak to my ex-wife. I'm giving her 400 a month and she doesn't even let me see the kids.
Tell me about it, pal.
Now listen to me. You go and speak to the manager.
Who did you use? What was your solicitor?
What was my solicitor?
Aye.
It was my fucking brother-in-law. And he
John?
was robbing me.
John.
No.
Brilliant guy. Brilliant guy.
Michael.
Love him.
No, John's in prison.
Oh,
Michael.
Oh, sorry.
Now, listen to
Michael's
me.
brilliant guy.
Listen to me. Michael's not a brilliant guy.
No, he's a
not.
brilliant.
He's cheated on his
he's a
wife
dick.
twice
He's a
when she was
complete
going
dick.
through chemo.
He's a complete dick.
Yeah,
I
he's
hate
a
him.
complete dick. Yeah.
I hate him.
Now listen, can we get back to the primary purposes to why we're here?
That's another thing. You just agree with everything they say.
Go over to your manager.
Yeah.
Tell him you've got a guy here that wants to do business, but you have to come to me with an offer that makes me want to leave here with a car.
Well, that's brilliant, Andrew. But the way that buying something works is that the buyer has to make the seller an offer. That's the way it works at an auction,
Okay.
Andrew. So
I've
if you tell me what you want to buy the car. Tell you what, write it down there. Write it down there.
There you go, I've written it down.
What you want to buy? Give me it.
$5
Give me it
grand.
over. You want it?
I can do that. I can do 5 grand.
Thanks. There's the door, mate. You've just insulted me.
I've just insulted you.
You've just insulted
Listen,
me.
mate, just because you've done a bit of MMA.
Well, that wasn't a pre-context of this scenario.
5 grand. Well, work with me then. You work with me. You
I'll
tell
work with
me.
you.
You tell me. You saying I've insulted you? Will you tell me what? Give me a figure that doesn't insult you.
It's in the window, mate.
That's not a figure. That figure insults me.
Why? You wouldn't have been here if it wasn't for that price, Andrew.
No, I wasn't here for the price. I was here for the car.
Well, now you're here for me, aren't you? Because you like me. I'm a good lad. I know you told me that in the test drive.
Yeah, you are a
Are you
good
going-
lad. So
And I
why
like
can't
you.
good lads do
And
good
we'll
things?
play that round with
Like,
Candy Boy,
if-
won't we?
If
we do business-
why can't good lads do good things?
Well, I'll tell you what. Saying I like you, Andrew. Okay, the car's sitting there at 10 grand.
Yeah,
all right.
yeah.
If I could do the car at 10 grand, including the mud flaps and maps that you want.
But they're already included.
No, you want. No, they're not on
No,
that
they
car.
will
I
be
need to put
included.
them on it, and the area in stores charges me 200 quid for them. So like, I'm looking after you.
Prove that.
I'll show you an invoice.
Show me an
I'll show
internal
you an invoice. I'll show you an invoice.
Right.
No problem at all. I'll show you after coffee. After
We need to move this forward.
yeah, it's
I want a car.
I told you he's hard work. I did it. Anyone else, I would have had this deal closed in a minute.
Right.
You know,
What's the best price you can do for me?
I'll do you the car for 10 grand in the window, and I'll throw in your mats and flaps, and I'll throw in that there Diamond Bright paint protection that you wanted. Remember, you said you're sick of washing your car every Sunday with this stuff. You just throw a hose over it. and
Sure, I don't have a car.
No, you do.
I just told you earlier I didn't have a car.
So you drove.
So why would I be washing a car every Sunday? I don't
seen
have.
you
You're not
dri-
listening.
I seen you drive.
You're not listening.
I seen you drive here.
I got a lift. It was an Uber.
They don't have Uber in Ballymena, mate.
They do. They do now.
Look, I
Listen,
smell a rat.
How
Look,
about
you
this?
want to do it,
Gary? Gary,
hit me with an
look at
offer.
me. Look at me, Gary. 9,250 plus all the flaps and the paint protection. I walk out of here with a car. That car's off the forecourt. 70 days. Your boss is going to be happy because you've got rid of a problem. I can remove that problem from your forecourt.
Yeah.
Right. That car's been spun. It's been spinned around. Go from garage to garage to garage to get rid of it. And today's your lucky day because I've walked in here. So
9250 is where you're at.
9,250 is my max. I actually physically don't have access to more money.
Well, I can lend you that. We have a bank.
I don't have. No, I'm not lending. I don't borrow any money.
very few interest.
I've got 9,250.
Pay it
I'll
back-
show you on my
pay it
app. But
back
I've
in-
got 9,250.
pay it
Don't
back.
put your finger at me. So I'll show you in the after. I've got 9,250.
Pay it back in 30 days, no interest.
No, I'm not. I don't pay anything back. I pay up front for it.
No, but that's what I'm saying to you.
No, but I don't do. This is the way I work. 9,250 plus the flaps and the paint. I walk out of here and I've taken a problem off your hands, and I'm very sorry now, Gary.
Look, I have.
But I have
hold
to
on. Sorry, I've just. Somebody's wanting to come and see this car this
Bullshit,
afternoon.
mate.
Somebody's wanting to come.
Bullshit.
There's just a
bullshit. Do you
used
know who
cars
that
NI.
person is? That's my missus. Told her to
I'll
tap
sell
you
her
up.
it for 97.50.
No, because you're going to 9,250.
97.50. I'll sell her.
9,250.
Just to annoy you.
9,250. I'm happy with 9250. I can see you're happy with 9250. I've solved the problem for you. And listen, when I come back to change it, I'll give you my word. I'll come back to
I
you.
spoke to my manager just now, and he's saying 9750 is the most he can go.
Well, I'm very sorry, but I'm going to walk out of here without a car. Listen, all the very best. You take care of yourself. Say hello to the family. Have a great Christmas if I don't see you.
Thanks very much for not giving me your business.
Bye-bye.
See,
unfortunately, today we couldn't get a deal. You could create the Irish Soccer Aid,
Right.
or something along those lines. They do it in England. Why can't we copy? Why can't we get the Aviva?
Right.
Why
Too
can't
many-
we
too
get
big.
Windsor Park?
Gaelic Aid.
Too big.
No, but what we're saying is we could North South come together, Irish, soccer charity night.
Yeah.
Irish celebrities, actors, comedians. Why can't we do that?
Okay.
But
Windsor wouldn't be too big.
Windsor wouldn't be too big.
Windsor weren't really playing ball with me when I was trying to do last year like a Tea With Me versus Have a Word podcast. All the regulars from both play like a game and get it all filmed and stuff.
That would have been unbelievable.
See, when you bring in a crowd, it's difficult and expensive, I think, when you're actually bringing supporters into a ground because there's infrastructure around that and all stuff I wouldn't know about.
Security and I
But
get
they were, I think maybe somewhere like the Oval or Solitude where we did the Man United game might be a bit, because you got to think somewhere like, say you do it at the Aviva, what's that, 70,000? That's a headache. Do it somewhere, at least for the first one. Do it Seaview.
That would be a good one.
Seaview,
Okay.
Solitude, the Oval, somewhere you have a good chance to get a good crowd in. Because see, years ago, like 10 years ago, more, 12 years ago, we did Northern Ireland First Republic in football. And it was at Dungannon Swift's ground for charity. And it was brilliant.
Yeah.
It's really good.
Good
All
crack.
kitted out and everything, yeah.
Yeah, but I genuinely think like if you did like Irish actors and whatever, like so you could have Ryan Shaughnessy, singer of Picture This, Ardal O'Hanlon, a couple of comedians, well known.
What if it's Tea With Me versus an All-Star Select?
Tea With Me versus Irish pop? Yeah, something like that. Oh, and like you get Chris Kent, you can get Victoria could play a few, whatever, like, and a whole thing, but not just comedy. Like get Nesbitt involved. You know what I mean? Get some of the boxers involved. You know what I mean? Get a wide range of athletics, sport, music. You could even get onto bloody Dermot Kennedy and stuff. Do you know what I'm saying? Like you get Dermot Kennedy, who's a really famous Northern Irish singer up here. What's his
Ryan
name?
McMullen.
Ryan McMullen, yeah.
Yeah, you get stuff like that. Like, and just think of how all of that would come together in one night. So to the people watching this, listen to this. Like, I genuinely think what a cross-border initiative that everybody can get behind. Mm-hmm. Would you not? Can you not organise that? I'll play. Like
You organise it.
I'm busy, but you're very good. But you've a big. You're good at this. People will listen to you. Like, do you not think that's because if the boxing finishes this year, there has to be something else really.
Yeah.
Like I genuinely think it could really work, like an Irish Aid or something like
I
that.
think it would work, yeah.
Do you not? I genuinely think. But where's your first port to call when you went for the boxing and you had this idea with Mickey? Who's the first person you ring to actually start a process?
Promoter.
So you ring Shine or something, and you go, "We've got this idea."
Yeah.
What was the initial response?
With the football, we would just do it ourselves.
Yeah,
You go to the ground and then I don't know. You speak to someone who's ran something like this before.
you'll have to ring do you know what you do? Just ring the football association and speak to.
I think the Oval or Seaview's maybe the best place for it.
Yeah.
The Oval has a big car park and it's in Belfast. But then even do you get into a thing of like people going, I'm not going to if it's at that club or that club.
Yeah.
Oh, because of Jesus, yeah. Do you know what I mean? Yeah.
This is Andrew's roundabout way of getting casement built. He's like, we're going to have a casement.
It should be built. Should have been built years ago. Can you imagine if Northern Ireland get to the Euros? Well, they will be because they're a home nation, aren't they? And the next, they'll still have to qualify, even though there's games penned to be played in Belfast.
Yeah.
They would have to go to Dublin to play their home games in that Euros if they don't build casement. Am I right? Do you not think that's a bit embarrassing?
But they're not playing at the tournament.
No, but it's the next tournament. If they qualify for the next tournament,
okay.
which is going to be in the UK and Ireland, isn't it? If Northern
2028?
Ireland, if Northern Ireland qualify for the Euros of Euro 2028, they don't build casement, they have to play their home games in Dublin.
Right.
Do you not think that is an embarrassment
Oh, for sure, yeah.
for the country, for this place?
Yeah.
Having to go to Dublin
Yeah.
because they were petty over the building of a stadium.
Get a wee apple green stop in though.
Do you know what I mean? Yeah, stop at the Albert Green. But I just find it a bit. Northern Ireland should have a much. This place should have a much better, bigger football stadium. And
I
concerts and
wish
stuff.
those plans like in the 90s had it came off, with like the Belfast United.
Premier League team in Belfast.
Yeah.
That would
down,
have been
like Queen's Island, like
Could you
Titanic Quarter.
imagine? We still would have found a way to fucking wreck it though.
Yeah, but that would have been. I've always wanted that. See, when I make like wee clubs and all.
In we could totally alienate him for an hour here. The championship manager and game editor. I used to make Belfast United too.
Belfast United, Belfast City FC or something. They used to have like
£250 million budget.
yeah, and give them like a yellow and black kit. Match him with Harland and Mouth. You know what I mean? Like perfect cross community club.
Nicknamed the Cranes. Yeah. Come on, you Cranes.
And its striker's called Yo. No, wrong joke.
Sean. Here's what I want you to do, right? I don't want to
got it wrong. I just got
I don't
it
want to go behind the fourth wall, right? I want you to make a clip, right? Keep all this in. Will you build up me and you getting excited about that? And maybe put some dramatic music that builds up,
It keeps going.
and then abruptly stop it. Make it play his bit, and then either put crickets in or just there was always one guy like that at school.
That's too much.
One thing. This is awkward. Like. Okay,
I give him his bag back.
I got.
He might have an inhaler or not.
I got my timing completely wrong.
It wasn't.
I was going to say that
Maybe
Striker's called Ulster says Yo.
Oh no! Move on.
But anyway, we move on. Shane, I want to tell you about. I'm doing something before we leave and go. Is this fine? A while back, you had very talented Ryan Hennessy on from Picture This. Lovely fella, retail. Picture This have a new album out, right? Great band.
What's it called?
It's the new album, right? And they came into the studio to do Key Radio, right?
Yeah.
And I was chatting away to Ryan, big fan of me and stuff. And
He is?
Yeah, big fan of me. And
I know what he said.
but I'm delighted to announce today that I'm joining Picture This on stage at Belsonic.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Yeah. So I'm going to be playing I'm playing the shaker.
What are you doing?
The shaker.
Show us again. Yeah.
you know
And
the
there's
shaker.
potential for clips there, Sean, too, if you want to do anything with that. Here's what we do. We start a
the
beat.
shaker.
We start a beat with Andrew and Ryan Hennessy from Picture This and get Ryan to go, Ryan Hennessy from Picture This, and just cut to that. That's what we do. There's two great clips.
So Ryan DM'd me when they were playing live in the studio, and they had like a shaker, right? And I said, "Can I do the shaker?" You know. So I joined them on the shaker, right? And I was doing the shaker, and then I said, "Geez, that was great crack." And then Ryan said to me, "Do you want to come on stage in Belsonic and do it?" And I said, "Unbelievable."
Yeah.
So I thought they were joking with me.
Yeah.
DM'd me yesterday.
Right.
Are you still cool to come on stage in Belsonic in June? So I'm very excited about doing it. Is there a band or somebody or something that do something on stage that you would love to be a part of? So, for example, I'm very excited about this. I'd love to join the 1975 for a song. I'd love to do something like that.
Fuck me. He's getting into other bands now.
No, but what I'm saying is, like, is there something you would like to do with somebody else on stage that they do that you don't do?
Of course, smells like chocolate.
Like, tastes like chocolate. I know, I heard you.
Right.
Smells like chocolate. Smells like
First
chocolate.
of all,
Tastes like chocolate.
First of all,
I'm off my head today.